Hi, my name is Jamie, and welcome to the One World, One Voice, Your Story Project. We share stories from people all over the world and from all different walks of life. Because here's the thing, no matter where you are on this wild planet, and no matter what journey you have already been on, we all have our own unique story, which brings our own unique perspectives to the table. And you never know who you might inspire or completely transform simply by getting real and sharing your story. And right now, while the whole world is dealing with COVID-19, there are 7 billion people all venturing through on their own unique path. So drop in with us to hear some of these stories. And on that note, sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode of the Corona Diaries. Okay, awesome. So to get started, I would love to know who I am speaking with tonight. So if you could tell me, what is the date today? Okay, April 29th, 2020. Is it April 29th or is it April 30th for you?
It is.
Okay, so we're talking to you from the future. Um, so yeah, what is your name? How old are you? Where are you in the world? So geographically, where are you? And then physically, where are you? And what do you do?
Okay, great. So my name is Alya and I'm 30 years old. I'm from Kazakhstan, but now I live in China. Um, I don't know, funny enough, but especially during how to say, during this quarantine, I just found myself in China. It's an irony, I think. So um, I'm just here for 5 months. The city is called Hangzhou. So, and I witnessed the quarantine period in China. I couldn't believe that this would happen to me.
I don't think anyone could believe that this was going to happen. Okay, so, and what do you do?
So actually, I'm a translator.
Okay, you're a
English,
translator.
yeah.
How many languages do you speak?
Um, Russian, English, a bit of Chinese, Spanish.
Cool, okay. Hablo español también.
Oh,
Pero nada más. Okay, so you are 30, you're living in China right now. What is the name of the city or the town that you're in?
Hangzhou.
Hangzhou. And where is that close to any big major cities that I might know?
Yeah, it's close to Shanghai, just 1 hour by train.
Okay, 1 hour by train to Shanghai. And you're supposed to be there for 5 months. When did you get there?
Oh, in November 2019, I came to China. Yeah.
Okay, now I know why you said the timing was ironic, because my first question for you, by the way, is when was the first time you heard about coronavirus?
The first time, so actually, I think it was the end of December when the rumors started circulating, but it was just like rumors and nobody believed. I didn't believe that it could be like this, like something serious or whatever. So it was the first time, but I didn't think about such a difficult situation. Yeah.
Okay, so end of December was the first time you heard about it, but at the time you still didn't believe, like, no way, like this can't be as
Yeah.
bad as they say.
Yes, of course, because it was just rumors, and I tend not to believe rumors, but actually then in the end of January, things were getting more serious. Yeah.
Okay, and that's when you started to be like, whoa, these aren't rumors. End of January, where you were, that's where life started to change and things got serious.
Yep. But I went to Shanghai nevertheless because I had tickets and I was a bit scared actually because all people started wearing masks and I couldn't find them. I mean, the masks going to all the drugstores and pharmacies asking for some masks, but nobody had it. Actually, it was a difficult situation. But I went to Shanghai, and what I saw there just scared me a bit because, it's a big city, and in the subway, I couldn't see actually so many people as I should see during my trip in Shanghai. And I understood, so people don't go out, they wear masks. Something serious, really serious is going to happen. Yeah, it was just like this.
So, what did you do at that point? Did you cut your trip short? Did you act normally? Like, what was it like?
So in Shanghai, I found the masks, but like two or three, yes, two, I think. And my trip was short. And I remember, I think on 26th of January, I came back to Hangzhou. And just during the whole quarantine, I used only one mask because I couldn't find any other. I just washed it with soap and put it in hot water, and that's all. Because, yeah, I I couldn't find any masks. So it was, I cannot even even express my feelings during this time.
You can I propose that maybe you were scared, terrified, stressed, anxious?
Stressed, yep, stressed and anxious as well because when you start checking the statistics, you start getting anxious actually because wow, the numbers just are growing uh, non-stop, and you you cannot do anything. So, and when I understood that I cannot do anything with this situation and the only thing I can do is just to accept it, I just accepted it and I felt relaxed. And okay, I thought, I'm in China, we have this coronavirus, the quarantine due to that, and I cannot do anything. I will just live my life. I have like money to buy food. I have an apartment where to live. Oh, it's okay. Yeah.
That's amazing. When was that turning point for you? When did you just decide, okay, I'm going to accept this?
I think so. The first week I was like anxious and stressed and all the things, but after 1 week, I think I was just understood that it's just pointless and useless to be anxious for what.
And was that beginning of February, you think? When was that time period?
Yes.
Maybe February.
February again. February.
Okay. And I agree with you. What's the point of it's not like we can do anything about it. So either accept it and move on and figure out what to do with it, or you can fight it the whole
Yeah.
time and be miserable.
Yeah.
So, okay. And that's amazing. I love that you did that. Okay, so it's been almost 3 months. Because for me it was middle of March. It's been almost 2 months for me. Now you said that you got there in November. It's now April. You're over the 5 months. Talk to me about that. And by the way, why did you go there? What was the purpose of the 5 months?
Okay. So before going to China, I lived in Russia for 6 years in St. Petersburg. It's an amazing city, but the weather is terrible there. So, and I was like, oh, I got tired. I I want something new life, new adventures, and I decided, why not? I might I can go to China to live there. It's totally different culture, different people, and it's so interesting to be a part of this society for just maybe 1 year. Yep, and so I came here just because I think I have a gypsy heart.
I have a gypsy heart. I totally get it. Which is weird being still in one place. So, okay, you went to China by yourself. You're 30. Did you know anyone or did you just go?
No, I didn't know anyone. Just I found, yes, I found a job here, and the conditions they just provided to me. I thought I decided that it was okay, everything. I mean, and I accepted the offer. So, and I came here, but I didn't know anyone here. So I I live alone, and I feel okay. It's not scary.
Do you think it matters? Okay, back where you're from in Kazakhstan, where are you from there?
In Kazakhstan.
Not that I'm going to know. I'm just curious the name of it because I'll look it up afterwards.
Okay, so the city I live in is called Pavlodar.
Say it again.
Pavlodar. Pavlodar.
Pavlodar. Okay.
Yep.
And how big of a place is it? How many people live there?
Oh, um, so I'm like, maybe, if I'm not mistaken, because I don't remember the numbers, but approximately like maybe
Is it a
300.
big city, small town? What's it like?
Uh, so the population is like 300,000 people. So it's not so big. Yeah.
Okay, but it's not so small either. Something in the middle.
Mhm.
Um, okay, and when you were living back there, were you living with other people? Were you living on your own too? What were you doing there?
Oh, no, there I lived with my mm, parents.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is
but
this the first time you lived on your own?
the first time when I lived on my own, it was in St. Petersburg in Russia.
Okay. Okay, so this
Yeah.
is not the first time you've lived alone, being where
Yes,
you
here. Yeah, but in Russia we speak the same language. I mean, we speak Russian, and we have like um, more or less the same culture, and you can just communicate easily, and it's just another experience. And in China, when you cannot speak Chinese, when you don't understand the culture and the mentality of people around you, you're like outsider, you know?
Yeah, talk to me about that. What is it like being an outsider in a country that's in lockdown?
Oh, so I heard that um, today some Chinese people, they just are very suspicious about foreigners, like they don't like them because of the coronavirus. They think that the foreigners that come to China, they bring the coronavirus again to the country and all this stuff. But actually, living in Hangzhou, I didn't experience this attitude towards me. I mean, maybe these cases exist, but I cannot say that here people in China just treat me in an, how to say, um, in a bad way. So everything's okay with me. So, but yeah, it's difficult because you you don't understand. For example, when the quarantine started, uh, for the first time they checked your temperature and they just ask you to write some personal information and all this stuff, but I didn't understand what they wanted from me because I don't speak Chinese. And I was like, what? Like, Tim Budong, I don't understand. So, and it was pretty difficult. Then they just started using the QR codes instead of all these papers, the QR codes. And I didn't know how to get this QR code. I couldn't ask anybody because, again, they don't understand me because they don't speak English. So it was difficult. In this situation, you have to communicate with people because they ask you, they check your temperature, they ask you to show your QR code, and so on and so forth. So you have to communicate with people, but you don't understand. And it was pretty difficult because, it's sometimes it's even with gestures, it's difficult to explain what you want. But yeah, I think that every difficult situation actually is okay. We can grow and we can learn and just take it easy. Because, in China, I understood one, I don't know, philosophical point, just take it easy. It's China, take it easy, it's okay. Don't stress out too much. It's China. We are different, and that's all.
What does that mean? I've never heard that like before. I would never expect that that's what the culture is like there.
No, actually, many people say that China is just something like just another planet. No, actually, China is China. China is has its government and so on, like any country in the world. But the culture, we are different in this way because how to explain? We are more direct. If I want, for example, to invite you somewhere, I will say, oh, let's go to the park or to the cafe or whatever, whenever. So and it will mean exactly what I mean, just to go out to some place. And in China, they are more indirect. I mean, they just don't want to offend you, and they may invite you, but it doesn't mean that they invite you, for example. Just an example, yeah? And you don't understand whether they invited you for real or it's just not to offend you, or it's like, it's difficult. And also, as for their mentality, they also there's an expression like Chinese people, they don't want to lose their faces. If they are mistaken or whatever, they don't want to accept it because they don't want to lose their face in front of you, and they will just continue with their point of view even if they understand that it's not correct or whatever, and you will be guilty in the end. So it's just peculiarities of their culture and mentality, and the only thing you can do if you are in China is just to accept it and just okay, they have their own culture and mentality. I'm okay with that, whatever.
I mean, I mean, like you said about the coronavirus, either you accept it or you're frustrated the whole time, right? And that's not enjoyable. Okay, I mean, I'm like you said in the beginning of this, you never expected that you were going to go there and have your experience be that you were going to be in quarantine basically the entire time that you were there.
Yeah.
Are you happy that you're there, or would you prefer to be back home right now? Where do you
Oh
think you
no,
feel better?
I'm happy. I'm happy because I think I live best, the best experience in my life. Because if I weren't in this situation, I wouldn't understand that I'm a strong person, that I can survive in any situation, even if I don't know the language. And actually, China gave me some, you know, precious ideas and precious thoughts. I mean, about my future, about what I really want, about the fact that maybe I want to have my own business, and the ideas of how um, uh, to create it. So I had so much time to think, not in a, how to say, um, in a constructive way. Yep. Not about some negative things, but about some positive things that are waiting for me in the future, because um, everything will go back to normal. It's just inevitable. We just need to wait. That's why I'm happy.
I mean, what you said is so beautiful, and I'm happy for you. I mean, how cool to like get a lesson where you get to learn how strong you are and that you can trust yourself and depend on yourself and love yourself and you know you got this. I mean, how many people are killing to know that about themselves? Because a lot of people don't. And that's amazing. What a beautiful lesson. And that you're taking the time to really figure out what you want for yourself in the future in the business. I really want to know what that is for you. But before we go there, I want to ask you a couple questions because you're saying you have all this time now, you're at home, but you went to China for a job. What was that job?
So, I work as a manager here. So it's like, the company creates some applications for children to learn English. So, and I just help them with the ideas of how to make it better or useful or whatever. Just,
Like a product manager.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. And were you working in an office or were you working remotely?
In an office, yeah.
Okay. When did that shut down? When did you stop going into
Uh,
the office?
After the Chinese New Year, it means in the end of January. So
Before you went
we
to
didn't
Shanghai?
before. I went to Shanghai during this vacation. I mean, the Chinese New Year, and after I came back, I was told that um, we would be on the quarantine and that we couldn't work. So, and
Oh, so
there,
you weren't even given the option of working from home.
yes, because but they just pay for my apartment and just give me some money for food, and it's pretty enough. So then it's okay.
Oh, they're still paying for your apartment and paying for your food.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. And you don't have to work,
yeah.
but you also don't have to worry about money.
So actually, I don't worry about this thing, and I also have my freelance job translating, so I'm pretty relaxed about it.
Okay. And do you do that online?
Um, yeah, they just send me some documents and I translate and send them back.
Okay, cool. So you don't even have to talk to anybody. You're literally just reading documents and typing and translating. Okay, that's a
Yeah.
pretty awesome gig. I always said if I could have any superpower in the world, it would be to speak every language. It is a massive gift.
Mm-hmm.
And wow, yeah, you can get so many jobs that way. That's amazing. Okay, cool. So you have to worry about money. Now, you said you're 30 years. And by the way, I think that what you answered about being in China and why you're grateful to be there, like, I love that answer. And I'm just really curious to know, like, I imagine you're talking to your family back home in Kazakhstan. Are
Mm-hmm.
they in quarantine too?
Yep, yep. They are in quarantine, and as far as I know, the situation is a bit difficult there because due to the coronavirus, or thanks for the coronavirus, we can see the whole like picture. I mean, whether the economy of the country is prepared, whether the country is prepared itself for such emergency. And yeah, it's a bit difficult there in Kazakhstan.
It's a bit difficult in a lot of countries. But you know what? I hear
Yeah.
it's actually pretty okay in China. You're the second person I've talked to in China. What do you think?
Oh, I think that in China, they just they quickly responded, and people, they if they were told to stay home, they stayed home. I mean, they obey the rules. But as far as I know, in many countries, people just go out. They don't just like don't obey the rules, whatever. But here it was strict. The quarantine was strict. Now it's like more relaxed. The situation, you can go out whenever you want. But during the quarantine, you could go out only once per 3 days. And I tried to go out only one time per week. So, and just to buy food. And they just how to say uh, they spy on you because of these QR codes. Actually, they know about all your movements. So, and I don't know, they are more organized, maybe. I don't know, actually. But yeah, now it seems that the situation gets better and better, because I know some dance school, and yesterday the government just permitted them to have some parties, and starting from the 4th of May, they will have they will give some classes. So it means that the life here goes back to normal.
Do you think that it really will go back to normal? Do you think people are going to not be scared to be in groups? What do you think it's going to be like?
Um,
How do you feel?
so I'm a bit scared, of course, because you read the news and you know that there are some cases without any symptoms and all this stuff, and you think about it. Of course, I'm thinking about the situation. So, and a bit scared, and I'm pretty sure that all people will be a bit scared, but it will just pass with the time. I mean, mm, of course, we need some time to feel normal again, but it will be, it will happen at last.
I hope so. I really
Yeah,
hope so. I mean, you said that things are going back to normal now. Are you going out?
I go out, but I'm a bit I understood that I'm a bit too lazy. I'm too lazy to go out every day, even if I can go out.
So you were
So
like that before the quarantine?
what?
Were you
Sorry.
like that? Were you like that before the quarantine?
um, to go out.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, yes, and especially here because it's a new city, a new country, and I wanted to know and to see as many places as possible. But yeah,
Do you think, I
um,
guess what I'm asking is that laziness an effect of the quarantine?
mm,
Are you
maybe
comfortable
I can.
inside now? Because I'm asking
Maybe
because even myself,
I.
I don't really want to go anywhere. Like I know that they're gonna start opening up stores and stuff again in a week, but it feels weird kind of to think about going out. So I don't know. That's why
Yeah,
I'm asking you. Like, how do you feel?
yes, I understand. So actually, maybe I had a bit of laziness before, but the quarantine impacted um, this feeling. I mean, because during the quarantine, you understand that you even don't have any option. You just have to stay home, and sometimes you can like, okay, I'm I will stay home because of the quarantine, not because I'm too lazy to go out. Yeah, the quarantine impacted.
Yeah, now it's like, so when you say that, you mean I'll stay home because of the quarantine, like it's a nice excuse. Like you don't have to go out, but you don't really want to go out. But you're still in a
Uh,
new country that you've barely gotten to explore.
I want to go out, but firstly, when the things were just starting to get better, I were a bit scared to go to, how to say, by subway, to take subway, because there are many people and I was a bit scared because of it. I didn't go somewhere far by subway. But now, as I can see in our city, I think we don't have any other cases, any new cases, and there are no infected people. And now I feel more excited about going out and take subway, yeah, and
Okay.
explore things.
Okay. So it's getting better for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's good. That's really good. Um, yeah, this is a question that I ask everyone, and I'm very curious to know your opinion on it because you see things starting to get better and go back to normal. So
Hmm.
things really kind of started changing at the beginning of February, as we discussed. It's been like 3.5, 4 months. No,
Hmm.
it's been 4 months. It is the end of April. It's crazy. April 30th for you. Um, if you could predict the future, Alya,
Yeah.
how do you say your name? Alya?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Alya.
If you,
Hmm.
Alya, if you could predict the future, when are we getting out of this? And I mean the
Uh,
world, right? Because, and by the way, actually, before you even answer that question, being in China, where it all began, did you think that it was going to spread to the world? Did you ever think it was going to become what it is now? Because, by the way, being not in China, hell no, we certainly didn't think it was going to get everywhere. Everyone that I've talked to that's outside of China, it doesn't matter if they're in the US, if they're in South Africa, they're in Spain, or they're in Italy, no one thought it was
mhm.
coming to them.
Actually, it's my first experience, and I actually I didn't think that it would reach other countries, so many countries, and the situation will be like just like a global issue for all the countries. I No, actually, I didn't think that it would be like this. I couldn't predict it. Couldn't.
Why do you think it happened?
why it happened. Mm,
What,
just because maybe some countries.
like, do you think that China reacted properly? Do you think it's their
Um,
fault? I mean, not that I'm trying to place blame, and I don't think that's fair. I'm just curious because you're there. Like, could there have been any way to stop this? I really don't think so. So know that I'm just asking the questions because I'm curious.
so actually, I just compared this situation with the situation of 2003, when also they had like some coronavirus outbreak in China.
SARS?
Yep, yep. It's also the one of the types of coronavirus. And I checked the numbers and I saw that this coronavirus, the novel coronavirus, is more like contagious because the numbers just are different. Um, and you know, seeing this, like, yeah, understanding that this coronavirus is pretty contagious, is very, very contagious, and taking into account this fact that people didn't close the borders. I mean, the government, the countries, they didn't close the borders, and they didn't restrict the how to say, the movement of people. Um, Maybe because of it, people were just flying here and there and just spreading this virus. Mm, I think that just because nobody, for the first time, nobody understood the severity of the situation, and maybe I think maybe even in China, but I think that actually it was impossible to just to prevent the situation, because even it's not difficult to it's not easy for the government to close the borders right away, to stop the flights right away. So now we have these consequences, and the better way, I think, maybe we just should think how to live with these consequences, because now we cannot just go back and just correct our
Oh,
actions.
totally. There's nothing we can do now. It is what it is. I do think it's interesting to think about because a lot of people say, this isn't going to be the last time something like this happens. So what do we do moving forward? We can learn, right? We can look back and learn. But I agree. At this point, we have to deal with it. It's here. So let's accept it. So back to my question. When are we getting out of this? If you could predict the future.
Actually, what an interesting question. I think I wouldn't change anything, because even if I knew the future, I think it's not good to interfere with the future. I mean, things should go just like they have to go, and it's okay. It's our life, and we just should accept all the situations that happen to us and learn from them, and just take it easy, really take it easy, because if I were asked about it like 10 years ago, maybe I would be more stressed, more anxious, and I would think about some negative things and all this, depressed and everything. But now I'm just a new person and I developed this feeling of, you know, of of relaxing and taking it easy and accepting. Yeah.
How? How'd you become a new person?
It took me a long time. So actually, and so many things happened to my life, and some of them um, were not pretty happy, but any just any person can say that. But the most important thing is it's not what happened to you, but how you react to what happened to you.
Absolutely. We don't get to decide what happens to us, but we do get to decide our response and our actions and our attitude. I love that.
Yes, and of course I just talked to my psychologist. So I think that in such situations we really have to address some specialists. You know, maybe some of us don't have this I don't know how to say it, the culture of addressing to specialists, that we are afraid, we are scared, we feel like uncomfortable, we think it's better to talk to friends, and it's okay. Now, when you want to change something in your life, you should start working with just with a specialist. I think so. And it's okay, nothing bad, I think.
I agree. I love hearing you say, I mean, okay, I don't love hearing you say that because I wish that people were comfortable talking about mental health and getting help. And by the way, I don't think you need to have a problem to speak to a specialist. It's nice to have somebody that has no attachment to your life, no agenda, no nothing, and just talking to you as a third party, it's
Yeah.
really, and to just listen to you. That's nice at any time. But in the US, and it's actually pretty relevant to the coronavirus, we don't talk about mental health enough. It exists.
Mhm.
We're a country and a society full of anxious, stressed out, depressed people. It's terrible. And the coronavirus elevates that. Unless you choose to take yourself on, I feel like you and I are your vibe attracts your tribe. I truly believe that, from all over the world, and you're a beautiful person. You have many of the same feelings that I do, about acceptance, staying in the present moment. And that is where pure bliss exists. Only when we think about the past or future do we start to get stressed or anxious or worried.
Yes, that's true.
Um, but anyway, what do you think about, I mean, you sound like you are, I mean, I'm so inspired by you because you just sound so joyful and light and happy. Like I can feel that from you. It doesn't
Thank
sound like
you.
words. How did you get there? I mean, you're almost 4 months into quarantine and you're
Mhm.
still feeling awesome. What would you say?
Yeah.
What would you say to all the people out there that are really having a hard time with this?
So actually, I understand people who, for example, who lost their jobs due to the coronavirus, and um, they cannot do anything. They are anxious about the situation, and yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult to just advise something to these people because I'm not in their shoes, and but the only thing I think, instead of being anxious and worried and spend our precious time on just being anxious and worried and stressed and everything, I think we should just calm down and just to think, what can we do? I mean, how can we change our situation in the family or in our personal life? How can we get a new job? What can we do? Maybe we have any like how to say it, skills. Yep. And I'm pretty sure that everybody has skills to do something and to, to have, it's just like, I don't know, their own business or whatever. uh, Everybody knows how to earn money, but we forgot about it. We forgot about skills, about our knowledge, about everything, due to their routine, everyday routine. We get up, we go to work, we return, we go to bed. We forgot that we have everything to make our life better. And now, during the quarantine, we have so much time to think. And I wish all people could think about this time like an opportunity to develop yourself, to get better, and not to be stressed, not to be worried, not to be anxious, not to, how to say, um, not to be too dramatic. I mean, I always have this feeling that, notwithstanding the situation, everything will will be will be great in our lives, because we are here to live, to enjoy, to learn, and just to live our lives in a better way. We can do that. Yeah, something like this.
Love
From
it.
the bottom of my heart.
I feel that, and you're right. It's like, I mean, I've said it before. You're sending a beautiful, beautiful message. And you know what we do have? We have all the knowledge of the whole universe, the collective consciousness within us. We have all the answers. Will you take the time to figure them out, to remember, to do the digging and do the work? We'll see.
Yeah.
I hope so many people do, because I think if they do, we could have a whole new world. You never know. There's a lot of opportunity here for a fresh start in a lot of regard. The global economy is changing. So we'll see what happens. Now, this is another question that I ask everybody, so of course I have to ask you too.
Mm-hmm.
When we do look back at this, and like you said, you don't want to predict the future, just let it happen how it's going to be, so I get that. But at some point, we will be out of this, like you said. When that happens, and this is happening to the whole world, who are we all going to look at, or who are you going to look at, what do you think, as the country that handled this the best? And who failed?
Actually, it's a tough question. I don't, how to say, I don't read the news every day, and I'm not pretty aware of this topic.
That's fair.
But
Okay, let me ask you a different question then, unless you want to answer it. You want to answer that question?
I would like to answer this question, but I don't know what to say, because I'm not aware of the whole situation. I don't read the news.
Okay, got it.
Yes.
Go ahead.
It's a good point not to be stressed, not to read the news.
Yeah, it definitely helps. It definitely makes a difference, but there's also an argument to say there's something about being aware too, right? And knowledgeable. I go back and forth. There's a week where I read the news like crazy, and then I shut it off for a month. It just depends on the moment for me.
Yes.
Okay. I'd like to ask you a different question then that I asked today for the first time to somebody else. And it was actually because I'm starting to do these interviews from a business perspective, which is really interesting. But like we said, the global economy is changing. What industry do you think just is never going to recover from this? And what industry do you think is like going to completely take off after this?
Oh. So, as far as I can see from the situation in Russia or in Kazakhstan, so many like small and medium businesses just were destroyed, actually. because like like restaurants, all these spheres where people just communicate, where people go, like which is connected with people, with society, they just suffered a lot. And it's even difficult to predict whether all of them will be able to get up and to survive in this situation. But actually, and I also see that um, it's a good it's a good time for some people who have like trainings, online classes, whatever online, everything. They have they have their money, because people continue buying some trainings, maybe to just to get relaxed or whatever. But or some people just buy some classes, like they want to study some, I don't know, languages or whatever. So online business will just, I think, rise. And yeah, maybe this is a point when we should understand that um, online business, that it has the future.
Yeah, it absolutely is the future. You got to be able to do it online and everything virtually and remotely. Otherwise, you will not survive after something like this. I agree completely.
Yeah.
Cool. So my last question for you, and then you can share anything else that you'd like, is, you've mentioned your own personal positive things, which I think are great. I also think that an unfortunate truth is that sometimes it takes total darkness to see the light. When tragedy happens, that's when the human spirit shines the most. And good things come out of this, and they're happening to the planet, not just with people. And I'm curious to know, from your perspective in China, and also maybe from your family in Kazakhstan or the world, like your family, communities, I don't know, what good are you already seeing come out of this? And what good do you think is going to come out of it?
Well, good. Okay. So maybe we just I think what is the most important, I think most of us will understand that we should live in the moment and value every minute we have in this life, and value every minute we have with our families. And we are going, I think, to understand that what is the most important is just how to say, is just to be sincere with ourselves, and and how I'm so excited. So, and the time, like there's a phrase that people think that time will come, the time just goes away every day. And in this situation, I think we will understand it, that we should value and catch every moment. Yes. And be with our family members and call them every day, because it's very important, because you don't know what will happen. And you should catch these moments, these precious moments, with your family members, even if calling via Skype or whatever.
Beautiful. I love it. Basically, like, what I got from that is it's about loving yourself, loving the people in your life, loving community, loving life, and just slowing down, going back to basics, being grateful and being present. And I love that.
Yeah.
What a beautiful message to share, Alya. Like, thank you.
Thank you.
Now, I know that you wanted to come and do this interview. Is there anything that I didn't ask you or that you came in here like really wanting to share? I want to make sure that you get to say everything you need to say, because the floor, if there's anything else you want to say, now is the time.
Oh, actually, you just how to say, you asked the questions I was really happy to answer, and you touched the topic I really wanted to talk about. And actually, I think I just shared everything I wanted to say. I feel really excited that I just found your account on Instagram, and we just cooperated in such an amazing way. So I'm thankful for this opportunity, and I want to thank you because you are also, I think you are a positive person, and I love your personality, really. Um, so thank you.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. Really, I'm so glad you found me too. And I'm so glad you reached out. Have you ever reached out to a random person like this before on Instagram and done something like this?
No, actually, it's my first experience.
Wow. And what made you decide to do it?
I don't know. I saw your account about the coronavirus, and I watched some videos, and I thought, what a wonderful idea. Then I saw your personal account, and I looked through the stories, and I saw that you visited many countries, and that you like traveling, and I also like traveling, and I like this wanderlust spirit in you. So I thought, wow, it's amazing. And yeah, that's why.
I love that. Thank you so much. And I asked that question because, gosh, what are you, the third? I think you're the third or fourth person from the Instagram that I've interviewed. But you're the first person I've asked this question. I want to keep asking it because you have no idea what an honor and privilege it feels like to have a complete stranger send you a message saying something about what you're doing, or you, I mean, because you're saying it without saying it, is making me feel comfortable enough to reach out to you to say, yeah, I want to share my story with you. Let's do it. So I want to know what that is, because it really is an honor. I mean, you have no idea the stories of people that reach out, and some of them don't even respond to do the interview. Most of them do, but they like write me this whole story, and I think they just need to get it out. I don't know. I think people want to be heard sometimes, or like have a safe space, but I love that. And it makes total sense. You went to my personal and saw all of that. That makes me so happy. I love it. Thank you.